All right, let's take a look at other things here. Vigs, I go to the game Saturday night. I didn't really look at the roster. I'm like, I didn't really know something. Wait a second. Graham Harris is playing. Why is Graham Harris playing? Both Thomas and Ludtke were out, and we really had no idea that was even coming.
Yeah, Tanner Ludtke has something viral. I was trying to read the tea leaves about Thomas being short term and Ludtke being maybe a couple weeks, and it turns out Ludtke's going to be out a couple weeks. So he was dealing with it a little bit at North Dakota, was playing through it, went through it on the first game against Minnesota Duluth, and they just decided to pull him for Saturday and let him get back to 100%. So that was a surprise. Mason Moe had to move back to center. Maybe actually that's a good fit for him. He was one of the players for Minnesota that impressed me during the weekend. You're trying to look at the Gopher roster and like what forwards are delivering right now. Mason Moe is definitely one of them. And then Cal Thomas has an injury that is nagging him right now. They held him out of practice Monday and Tuesday this week, but Bob Motzko at availability today said it's looking like he can play this weekend. I think one of the things is, with the Thursday, Saturday game, maybe it makes it easier for him to play through it. Has a little time in between the games to recover. So they're hopeful that he's going to play this week. Kind of a nagging injury.
Yeah. And I'll bring this one up from Matthew. Graham Harris is an absolute dog and deserves a spot in the lineup. I noticed him right away Saturday night, Vigs.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of those players who wasn't waiting for things to happen. He was engaging, he was making quick decisions, he was forcing the other team to make decisions. Those are things you want out of your forwards right now. You want them to be direct. When Minnesota's played really well against North Dakota and BC, it's because they were on the battles early, physical contact before the puck battle even happened. That's going to be critical for Minnesota. If Graham Harris continues to do that, he's going to get a spot in the lineup. I mean, you look at his age, I think he's the same age as Brody Lamb or older. So he's an experienced player who's paid his dues.